Hey everybody, welcome back to Shoddy Farming. I know it's been a hot minute since I've posted anything. That's because in that time I have moved across the country, started a new job, and had my hard drive crash, which means that I lost all of my saves in all of the games I was playing, my Stardew Valley farms, and everything like that, and I have been devastated. But I have found some new games that I adore, and so I am back to show you guys some new stuff. So today I'm going to be starting in Prison Architect, which is one of my favorite games. I have been playing this so much since I kind of splurged on it after watching a number of other YouTubers play it. So Prison Architect is a building and management game where you are the warden and architect of a prison. They have a campaign. The campaign is really just a tutorial. If you've never played the game before, go ahead and check that out. It's actually pretty neat. You have these scenarios that you have to complete, and it teaches you how to do all the basic stuff in the game. I've played it, so I'm going to skip it. So we're just going to create a new prison. Prisoner gender actually does make a huge difference. So you have male prisoners where you just need the basic stuff. They need a shower, they need cells, they need a place to eat. Female prisoners, a number of them are going to have children with them, which means you also need to set up a nursery and family cells. And there's some weird stuff where you don't know if the prisoners coming have children, so you're never quite prepared unless you make just a ton of family cells. So it gets weird. It's fun if you want some extra challenge, but if you're new to the game, stick with male prisoners. Choosing your warden, they each have different things that they do. The warden himself, the lobbyist, Rita, J.W. Periwinkle, the pacifier, and Sapara Aknova. I like to go with Periwinkle because the guard dogs are more likely to uncover an entire tunnel, which I like. I'm going to start with maybe a medium size prison because it's kind of a pain to have a massive one when you're starting an entirely new prison because it means you don't have a lot of money and you still need to keep all those edges secure. I always keep on Fog of War. I feel like it's not realistic otherwise, but I don't like having any of the other generated stuff on there. Failure conditions, yes. Gangs, no thanks. It is a huge extra challenge. Events I'm going to leave off this time. Events, if you turn that on, it means every now and again they'll say, hey, some people are sick and you have to quarantine them, and hey, a fire broke out, and just these random things that you have to take care of, which makes it more realistic, more challenging, very fun, but for right now we're going to keep it simple. Staff needs I'm going to keep off for now. We can turn them on later, but if you have them on, you can't turn them off. And when you have the staff needs, it means your staff also get cranky because they need food and they need a place to sit down and go to the bathroom. And it can be troublesome when you're starting, and I don't want any of the kind of cheat stuff. So let's go. Pause it right away. So this is our prison space. You can expand massively off to the sides later. I don't even know how far you can go. I've expanded quite a bit and I haven't seen a limit. It just gets more and more expensive. So you have your to-do list up here. This stuff, I believe, yeah, you can move this stuff around. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. You can move your clock around. Don't know why you'd want to, but you can if you don't like where they are. This is just saying, hey, get stuff started. I always just delete to get off there. Here's the thing. Prisoner intake is automatically set to open even though you don't have anywhere to put them. So when you're starting new, always just click that, close it, or click fill capacity. I just close it off entirely. And then we need to accept our first grant. This is the fun stuff. This is kind of the challenging stuff. Right now we can only take 2 grants, and it's going to tell you it's going to give us some upfront money, and then we get a completion bonus when we complete the objective. So at first this is just basically building the prison. We're going to get $20,000 and $10,000 when we complete it, and that's building all the basic stuff for the prisoners, and $5,000, $5,000 when we finish to build the offices and get our staff stuff going. So we're going to take both of those. You can see we have the workers coming in already. I love them. I love the little people icons in this game. And this is where they're going to get dropped off to. But I get weird and I don't like where that stuff is placed automatically. So you can click the little plus down here. It's going to open up everything else, even the stuff that we currently can't put in, but I still like having them all there. All the rooms expand as well. So we're going to delete that. You just right click and drag to delete it. Go into planning, which is the best. And I like having the entrance to my prison in the middle. So the easiest way to find the middle is to just do this. So 45. Go up 45 on this side as well. 12. 12. There. So that's the center of the map on this side. So I like having my entryway there. I get very particular about these things. I'm also going to dismantle that and put it on either side here. But right now, if I press play, those will just keep going around in a circle because they don't have anywhere to go. So we go back into rooms. We put down our deliveries. You can't put anything right against the edge there. We need some storage space. Put it up here. And I just like getting all these kind of outdoor things done right away. We're going to leave a space there. Space for garbage, and then exports will come out here as well for when we're eventually having the prisoners make stuff. So let's keep planning this. So I like have a little walkway, and then let's say, so this is going to be the wall. We're going to have the offices coming down here, and the offices have to be 4 by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Have a little doorway there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, perfect. So I'm going to make our reception room right about. That's not right at all. I want this in the middle. What am I doing? Oh boy. Okay, but it doesn't have to be that wide. Let's just move that down here. There we go. Yeah, it's been one of those weeks. So 13, 14, is that right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I like these things being symmetrical-ish, at least. So we go into foundations. I don't like the auto lights, so you just click that and take it off. Otherwise, they put lights like where you're going to put doors and where you're going to be putting walls in. Brick and concrete makes no difference. It's just aesthetic. So let's just put down some bricks. So you just drag that. Before they can finish making it, they can get started. So we can do that. Before they finish it, there has to be a door. So we're going to put a large jail door there. Put some fencing here to have this cute little walkway. And you can see them all coming in. And they'll unload everything into the deliveries. You can even see what it is. So that's concrete. We have brick. And then they come down here. And lock that open so they don't have to worry about that shutting on them. And then let's get this planned out. As you can see, we're making money right now, so I'm not super worried about our little workmen. But I'll pause it while I do some more of this planning. So it's 4 by 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all going to be rooms that we'll need in the future. So we don't really have to worry about them now, but I like to be prepared. So we're going to use it as an armory and a kennel, and this is where I'm going to put my utilities stuff, which you want to have a space of 5, because once you lay the power station down and put the capacitors on there, it's going to need a 5 by 5. So we then attach more foundation. So with the foundations, if I overlap this, they will demolish this upper wall. If I put it here, this wall will still be here, and this will be open. So that's how I want it. So I just have it touch there, but it unfortunately requires an entrance still, which is where it's going to get weird, because putting one here doesn't count because it's not on the foundation. Luckily, I also need these. I need one here, and none of these count because none of them are on the wall, which is a pain. So I am just going to stick one there, and then we're going to remove that once the foundation is done. It would have been better if I made this whole thing at once, but that's fine. That's not going to hurt us in the long run. So then we just dismantle this. Dumping it means they'll throw it out, and I will use that later. So I will always dismantle it. Fill that space back in. And then we're just going to put brick walls in here, because they are not going to be in a co-working open office plan. And then we put our utilities in. And luckily when you start out, they give you a number of the utility stuff to start with. So you already have a power station, you already have a water pump station, you already have at least some of that stuff. Not very much, but you've got some of it. And then I'm going to put one more here. Perfect. And then we're going to stretch this all the way up so that our lights, when we put them in, will have power. I put this one here because the water pump station needs to be powered as well. Unfortunately, the power is not going to go through these walls, so I need some over here for these offices as well. So we kind of have the basics done. All this little planning is still in the doorway. Again, right click, drag over that, and it deletes it all. And now we can start more of the building stuff. So we need at least 2 offices. I think. Is it 2 or is it 1? 2 offices. Okay. So if you hover over it, that means it's not done. So we need an office desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet in order for this to be an acceptable office. What's funny is they don't need a light. So let's desk and some chairs and a filing cabinet and then a light. And this is going to be our reception. The reception is where when prisoners arrive, they get brought in here and searched and given their uniforms. So now we have the offices, which means we can start hiring staff. So we're going to hire the warden, and then you click on bureaucracy up here, and it's all the stuff that you can research. So since we need to unlock finance for that grant, we're going to do that first. So that costs us $500. It's going to take 6 in-game hours, and that means we can hire the accountant. So there he is researching finance, wandering around his office. If we want, we could go in and give him fancy flooring. We might do that later, but right now we don't have a ton of money. So reception needs an office desk, a table, and at least 1 chair. So I'm also going to put in metal detectors right in the doorway here, which means that anybody who comes into the prison is going to walk through there and be checked by the metal detectors. Because sometimes people visiting will try to sneak stuff in for their friends and family members. So put some tables down. The tables are where they're going to set the prisoner uniforms. And then I'm going to put a bin so that they can throw out any contraband that they find. We need a light in here, and we can always add more stuff later. For right now, I'm going to put another door in here so they can come through reception, go out there to the rest of the prison. So we have 1 hour and 30 minutes left on there. One of the nice things about this game is you can go into quick build, and they have all these kind of pre-made things. I don't really like how they're set up though, but we can clone. So you can clone, you right click and drag over what you want to clone, and plop it right in there. You get charged for the stuff that they need to put in there just all at once. You can see an office costs $120, and that's for the light. It copies that it's an office, all of that. So there's a little chime, which means our setting finance is done. So we're going to start on maintenance, and we have 0 accountants, so we can't study any of this. So we go into staff, and our accountant will pick an office. And there she is, and now we can have her research. So an extra grant, because then we can do 3 of those. And we finished one of our grants for researching accounting. So now we can get 1 more. Let's do inmate health and well-being, which is going to be to build a medical ward, hire at least 2 doctors, and hire a psychologist. Takes a while because we have to unlock health and psychology, which both take 6 hours, but that's okay. So while we're waiting for that, oh, you see this? Notebook page. This is one of the little collectibles in the game. You click it, and it is some of the notes from when they were making the game. So these are all the ones I have already. You can see I'm missing a bunch still. One of the things I don't like about this game is every time you go into the menu, and that automatically brings you into the menu, it goes back to original time, no matter what you had it on. So if you pause and then you go into the menu, now it's unpause. If you have it fast, you go into the menu, it's now not fast. So that's annoying, but that's something very small about the game. So we need a holding cell. I like the holding cell to be right by reception, so that if there's no space for them to go, they can go straight into the reception area, or into the holding cell, excuse me. So we are going to put a large door there. We are going to put a normal jail door over here since we need another entrance anyways, and that way they can always go in and out here rather than going through a reception. So this can be where they go if they're first getting put in there, and when they're getting brought out or they're going to meals, they can go out through the smaller door. We can hire more workers. We have 8 right now. As you can see, it costs $500 to get one, and then the wages are $100 per day. So it costs $500 just to click and hire another one, and then if you see, our money goes down. It's not equal to 100. It's a little strange, but there we are. Holding cell. There we go. So holding cell needs to be at least 5 by 5, which this is more than that. Enclosed, which means we got all the doors and walls. Indoors, we need toilet and bench. That's the bare minimum. Oop, except we have a chime. We finished maintenance. Let's get health started. Extra grant is about to be done too, which actually we can already click what we want her to do next. But I think I might just leave it for now because I don't want to spend a ton of money when I don't have a ton, and none of that stuff is really vital. One of the nice things about this game too is that when you are zoomed in on a room, it highlights what you're going to need or what you're going to want to put in there, which is really nice. So let's put some benches in. They don't need any space between them. You can, but they don't need it. We'll put some toilets in here. Couple shower heads in case somebody is stuck in here. You want to put these shower drains away, one away, and not right under it. If you put it right under, it's not going to catch the water. You put them one away, kind of around there. Now they're flashing because we never actually set up our water. We also need to bring our electrical line up to fill that room, even though we haven't put a light in there yet. And then we run our large pipeline up here. There we go. Put a light in, because otherwise you're sitting in a dark holding cell. So that's technically all we need. We don't even need any of this. But in case they're in here for a while, people get stuck in here, I like to put some bunk beds in, just in case we have some crisis, there's a fire or something, and people can't be in their cells, so they get shuffled into here. I want them to still be able to sleep. Otherwise, they're going to get real cranky. And then we'll put a couple phones in here. And I don't think we need metal detectors since they'll already be coming through here. Let's see what is next. So we still need a shower, a yard, a kitchen, a canteen, and to hire some workers. So let's get started on the important stuff. Big canteen. And then if we make this fairly large, we can split it in half and make it a shower on one side and the kitchen on the other. And then we'd have basically everything done. So if we have the kitchen, the sinks are the large thing. The sinks take 3 spots, and the other 2 things that we need take 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that would give us room for 3 sinks across, and then we'd have this really big shower, which will be fine because if we get a lot of prisoners, they're going to want space to shower. So let's get that started. I'm going to put the door here. And then we don't need foundation for the yard since that's outdoors, but we still need to enclose it. So we're going to put a jail door there, and all the rest of this is going to be enclosed in a fence. And I'm going to get rid of that planning right away because they're just going to build it. And we finished that. So we can hire a psychologist and a maintenance worker. And then we're going to get started on studying education. What do we need? There's our foreman. There's our psychologist, which means I just need to build a medical ward and hire 2 doctors for that. Lock this open. Lock that open because I don't want any of that closing and then my little people can't get through. Gonna use that staff door that we got rid of earlier and use that for the kitchen because I don't want the prisoners just walking into the kitchen because they will steal stuff from there. And then our shower will have a large jail door there. So the staff door means that any of the staff can get through there, and when the prisoners have to work in that area, a staff member will open the door for them. So they can still get around. It doesn't lock them out completely, it just locks them out unless they have to be there. I'm going to put some paving stone across here, and then I like to fill in the yard area with grass so that it looks like a yard, and we'll make that more fun later. So the easiest way to figure out what you need is to just put that area down, as long as you know that your space is big enough, which I know mine are because these are huge, because then it will tell me what I need in each of these things. So first I'm going to put some lights down. That little light that you see, you don't actually need them like that close. They put out a lot more light than it kind of looks like they do. However, I do have to bring some electrical wire over here because those are not actually going to put out light. So our kitchen needs a cooker, a fridge, and a sink. So sinks, you just press R to rotate that around. I'm going to put 5 in. Maybe more. Doesn't hurt to have a couple more. And then some cookers. Oh, I am broke. Oops. Alright, I'm used to playing this game with a lot more money. So, whoopsie. Well, let's say this is a yard quick. We might actually have to study a bank loan when we can afford it. So I'm going to open up my staff. I'm going to fire some of my workers. Yeah, there we go. We're down to 4, but that at least means I'll get money a lot faster because I'm getting $560 every day, and we'll just keep that speeding right along. Yeah, so pay better attention to that than I did. So I will just fast forward this to when we have money to keep doing anything interesting. Alright, so we're back. We are now on day 8. Let it run for a while. I fired almost everybody. So my staff right now is my warden, who you can't fire, my psychologist, and oh no, that is my warden. It just shows the picture of the original warden. That's not the guy I have. But yeah, I have my warden and my psychologist. Because I'm not researching anything, I'm not building anything, so I have no workers. I have nothing. But it means I at least have 5 grand now, so I am going to hire 1 worker. We're going to get this kitchen, which means I need a fridge. That's the last thing we need. So we've got a cooker here, more cookers here. Put a fridge there. And I'm going to try to build, I might just build like 2 cells just to get some people in, but I still need to finish the shower and the canteen. I also planned out some more stuff, some cell blocks, some parole rooms, classrooms, stuff like that, little area for solitary. So I just did some planning and watched some Let's Plays because, you know, how else am I going to kill time? So showers, alright, that's in there. I'm going to figure this out. 2, 3. There are a few ways that you can do showers. This is one. Put some walls in here, and then the showers are going to go in between there. This can actually be a little longer. There we go. And then we'll have some toilets up here. Wonderful. So, we will... Oof. Might just do that. I don't really need it. I did not put any lights in the shower. There. So what we need in the shower, we literally just need a shower head. But we're gonna put some drains too. And a toilet. I just want to get this bare minimum done so we get another 10 grand because I don't have anybody in here right now, so I don't really need any of that. So in the canteen we need a serving table. That's where the cooks will actually put the food on there, and they'll have food trays, and the prisoners will come and grab it. We need a bench. We need a table. So there's the bare minimum for that. And if you see, the yard doesn't actually need anything, but it does need to be secure, which because the doors are open and I don't have like a perimeter wall or anything, prisoners could just walk right out and escape anywhere. Also, another notebook page. This is about patrols and stationing guards. So there we go. Getting a little bit more of that done. So what I'm going to need to do once I have some stuff built is I'm just going to secure stuff by just filling in the little gaps with fences. This is going to be our medical ward. Can I afford this? Nope. Can I afford this? Yes. Good. This little area up here is going to be a small little morgue in case anybody dies. Once this gets built, I know it's just that one worker, that poor worker. Let's just follow you around, you sad little guy. I wish I had names or anything, but they don't. Oh, moving too fast. Couldn't even keep up with them. And he's got to run back and forth to the storage area, to the deliveries, and get everything by himself. Oh no. Well, that's done at least. So now we should take care of this. Or maybe build this. This is going to be the medical wards. That's going to be for this one. That's all research. I just need to actually build it. But the stuff for that's expensive because you need the medical bed. There it is. Which is $500. So, you know, can't really afford that. But it's something we need to do because when we're done, we will get 10 grand. So once the canteen is done, I'm going to get 2 guards, get 2 cooks. That will get us this 10 grand, and then I'm just going to fire them right away. Which does cost us money. I might keep them around because, like I said, you have to pay just to get them. So it's $500 just to click and hire a guard. So it's probably cheaper keeping that $100 a day than spending that $500 again, especially for 2 of them. The cooks are the same. Our canteen is done. So now he's going to start working on this. Building away. Look at him go. Also, if you see control left click make high priority for something that really needs to get done, hold down control. You can just select all that. And that means it's urgent. It says that now. So you can kind of control what they do, but not really. Look how dirty our place is getting. So gross. It's because we don't have any janitors or anything. We haven't researched any of the cleaning stuff, but eventually, that's another grant, so we will get that eventually. Clear out that. So that is our infirmary. Not that we can afford that right now. And now I'm going to let it run for a while because we are going to need at least 2 grand to hire the 2 guards and the 2 cooks because they each cost $500 to hire. So I will just, again, fast forward you guys so you don't have to sit and watch while nothing happens. I might just do some more planning, figure out how I want stuff, but we have to wait till we get up to 2 grand. Alright, welcome back. We are now up to $2,000. So, 2 guards, 2 cooks, and 10 grand. Alright, so, start a new one right away. Prison maintenance, since we already want to get this place cleaned up, but now let's get our medical ward set up. We'll just put 1 in there for now because we just need the money. Run the cable. I'm going to run the cable over here because I want to put a metal detector there. Okay, infirmary, done. So, hire 2 doctors. Get that money. Fire at least 1 doctor because I absolutely do not need 2. Sorry. Get... Which one should we do next? Which one gives me the most up front? 10, 15, 10, 5. But that's a really long one. Let's do this one. Just gives me 5, but it's not going to be a super hard one. So we need to hire our maintenance guy back. Our foreman. Yep. And hire groundskeeping. See how much of this we can build. Not going to be... all of it. How much does the whole thing cost? Ooh. We could. What should we? Yeah. Maybe that was a bad idea, but too late now. Let's get our utilities going in here. I'm also going to need to spend some of our money Yeah, we'll put one on there because these guys are going to use up quite a bit. And then we want to run it up here for the metal detectors that are going to go there. And probably run across because this is a big canteen. I don't know if it'll actually reach both of these. Our poor one little worker. He'll be okay for now, though. Doing a great job. I'm so proud. Oh, the water stuff is always kind of a pain. Because they have small pipes, but the small pipes do not reach more than a couple spots away, like from where you originally put them. So they're not great. So I like to use them just right off of here. And we're going to bring power in, so those will work. The lights will go on. That's all set already. If we actually build these cells, we're going to need a lot more benches and tables in there. Obviously, one serving table also takes care of, I believe, around 40 prisoners. So just keep an eye. Eventually, you'll have the number of prisoners you have up here. And just keep an eye and make sure everybody's getting fed. So we might have the visitation room like right here. Doesn't need to be massive or anything. See how that's going. Oh, that's done. Oh, we can't afford that yet. Well, alright. We get one gardener though, so I just need $2,000 to study cleaning, and then I can get those janitors, and then I'll get another $5,000. And once this is done, I just need to put in the fences to get this place secure for now, and then we can accept a bunch of prisoners. So I'm going to actually put that in, put those fences in right away so I don't forget about them and go, why in the world isn't this working? So we have there. I'm not going to put the door in here, so that's all secure. So we're going to need to close this off, which eventually this will get, all these will get torn down eventually, obviously. But I think that's good then, because then this, the walls here, of course there's this, but that doesn't really count. Here. Yeah, so that would all be secure then. Which means I can keep these locked open because I don't like the prisoners having to get a guard to let them in and out of the yard. I keep most of the doors just locked open because there's no reason for the prisoners to be kept out. And I'm going to hire another worker to get that going a little faster, because once that's done, I can start using this money to fill in cells. Okay, so once again, I'm going to let this run for a while. So we're back. We have another $2,000, which means we can start researching cleaning. We're going to need another $1,000 to hire the last 2 janitors for this grant. But I figured in the meantime, we could maybe... Ooh, I didn't realize how expensive jail doors were. Well, we can do at least some of getting these cells ready, because every cell that we build, we're going to automatically get some prisoners. And we're going to say fill to capacity, so as they build it, it'll automatically bring us more. But I don't want medium security. I want to close that. We'll just take all minimum security, because minimum security, they're not going to cause problems. They will try to escape. They will have drugs, stuff like that. But when they have somebody in there who is a snitch or ex-law enforcement, they don't care. Fights are not going to be breaking out. With medium security, you will have people that are marked for death. Quite literally. Eventually, when you unlock intelligence, you can go in there and, using the information from your confidential informants, people will literally show up with a red crosshair over them. They are quite literally marked for death. That means you have to have a protective custody area so that the general, medium security, maximum security, all the way up, can't get in contact with those protected people, which means building a whole separate area. Once again, like with the parent stuff that I talked about, you have no idea how many of those protective custody people you need. Alright, so we unlocked the cleaning. We can't afford that right now, so we're going to try to just get this ready. Okay, so my door is there. So I'm going to put the bed there. Yeah? Or should I have the bed over here? I don't know. We'll see. Toilet here. And then we're going to need a light, which even a $30 light we cannot afford right now. And then, of course, I'll need to actually put the walls in and run plumbing over to the toilet, which is going to cost more money. Alright, well, we got $30. We can put in a light, and that's a good start. Yeah, that's not great. They're not super happy. And we have $6. Oh, we have $24. We're rich. But, it's a good start. So, I think we're just going to let that run. Alright, so let's see if we can get... Well, first, let's just say this is a cell. Cells only have to be 3 by 2, so you can make them this way or you can make them this way. Like this. Either way works. I just like doing it this way. And then let's see. It's $50 a square, so we can at least do, one wall. It's not so bad. And then that will at least get us our first prisoner. How far do we have to bring? Ooh, we have to bring a lot of piping over. It's 165, 375, I'm guessing. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize we had money there, but that's okay. That'll get built, and it means that when I drag this over, that's already there. Alright, that's okay. I just wasn't paying attention. I assumed we would have insufficient funds. And you know what? While we're waiting, we got one more we can put down. While we're waiting, I can show you some of the other stuff in these menus. So you've seen the staff, the prisoners, which eventually will be there when we have prisoners intake. I already showed you. Jobs is just showing what everybody's doing, and I never ever look at it. Needs, this is very important, and typically this is what I have this set to, so every time I click reports it opens on needs, because it'll show you what everybody needs. And so it'll have red bar, yellow bar, it kind of goes like that. And so as it starts filling up with red bars, that means somebody has this critical need and they are desperate for that. And if they get really upset about things, that's when they're going to start attacking staff and each other and start getting violent. So you need to keep an eye on this, and if you hover over these, it tells you how to satisfy them. Most of them are very easy. The one I have the hardest time with is literacy, because it says adding a library will let those prisoners borrow books to meet this need, but I can put in like 7 libraries and there's still people who are really upset about literacy. So that one is annoying. The rest are pretty easy to take care of. Regime is going to be the schedule for the prisoners, which is really fun to play around with, and there is a grant later and some events if you're playing a game with events where you have to mess with it. Just keep an eye on this. So I like to have them shower as soon as they wake up. I wake them up, no, they can still sleep there. We can always move it around, because when they get up, when they first wake up, their hygiene is going to be just off the charts. They need that because they just woke up. They need to go to the bathroom, they need to shower. So we have the shower, and then I like to have them eat. Anything more than 3 hours is unnecessary, so an hour or 2 is fine. And then 4 hours of work or free time. So they'll be working in places like the laundry and the workshop and the kitchen, or doing educational classes, or at a parole meeting, things like that. I like to give them some yard in the middle there. More work, more food, and that's how I like to keep it. And what's nice is they automatically have free time here. Free time and yard time satisfy the freedom. So that's just an easy way to do that. Plus, I like to have just basically everything they could possibly need in the yard so that they can satisfy the rest as they need, just kind of on an individual level. Policy, when we eventually get that, policy lets you change if somebody is found with weapons, or if they've done something wrong, any type of misconduct. You can say Do you search them? Do you search their cell? Do you search the entire cell block? And you can choose what the punishment is. Is there a punishment at all? Are they in lockdown in their cell? Are they in solitary, and for how long? You can also set it so that their security level changes. So if somebody murders another inmate, you can say set their security to max, or just bump up their security. Policies where you can also change parole cutoffs, how many guards are on break and what they're getting paid, and the quality and quantity of prisoner food. Grants you've already seen. Programs is going to come into place when we have places for them to work and study. So you'll see how many want this, which is listed as in the queue. And you can start the programs when you have the places. If you hover over them, it's going to tell you what you need and all the information about it and how much it's going to cost. But we can't do any of that now because I don't have any of the places that those would be held. Finance is finance stuff, not super exciting, and we can't do it. We've unlocked the accountant, but I fired her. Evaluation is where you can sell your prison. So if you've gotten sick of your prison, you want to start over, come to evaluation, you have the option to sell it, which means you will get a bunch of money depending on how much staff you have, how many prisoners you have, if you've had any escapes or deaths, and a bunch of other things like that. So the bigger and better your prison, the more money you will make off of selling it, obviously. So that's just a fun way to start over in the future. Alright, so we'll get that. I do still need to hire those janitors. I think I'm going to let this fast forward now. Again, since we've kind of looked at the basics, yeah, I'll show you more of this stuff, as we get it unlocked, as we research that. That's when I'll actually need it. But look, we have our first cell done. So now we have a population of 0. We have a potential population of 1. And as you see, it's a maximum safe capacity, shared capacity, because right now I cannot set that as minimum security only. That will come when we can do deployment, but I have my intake set to only minimum security, so of course we're getting a minimum security prisoner. So right now they don't have a working light and they can't use their toilet, but we do have somebody coming in the morning, 5 hours from now. So that will give us $300. Each one of them, each prisoner, is worth a certain amount just upon intake, and then you get a certain amount per day for having them here. So of course, the more dangerous, more difficult to take care of prisoners are worth more because it's more work. So I'm okay with sticking with the minimum security for just an easy playthrough. So we are just 30 minutes away from our first prisoner arriving. I figured you guys would want to see it. It's not going to be super exciting since there's only one, but it's still one. So there's our $300 for prisoner intake. Here is the prisoner bus that, oh, it already dropped it off. I totally missed it. I was like, oh, they're driving right past. So they get brought into reception through the metal detector, searched. There's the old uniform, new uniform. So they're put into the new uniform. For some reason went through the holding cell. Interesting. Okay, interesting choice. I think it's because this pavement you walk on faster than the dirt, so they kind of went up and around. What's his name? Warren Ingham. He has already served 7 years for bribery, which he pled guilty to, and he is sentenced to 4 years for false accounting. He served 1.4 years already, so he has 2.6 years left. I don't think he's going to be in here that long. Oh, estimated reoffending chance, 68%, which has apparently gone up 50% since he got here. Alright. The way that you can make this stuff secure without putting these fences in all these weird places is you can either build just one big building, whereas I have like open air walkways around everything, but I like having the walkways. I just think it looks nicer. The other way to make it secure is by using the perimeter wall. You'd put this big wall all the way around. It goes 1 block in, and then you would seal off the roads with a road gate here, which means that a guard has to let vehicles in, and I like to do a road gate and then a jail door for people walking through, and then surround the rest with the perimeter wall, and then those same things down at the bottom. And that means that even without any of these fences, prisoners could just wander around here, but because the whole thing is enclosed, they're fine. That all still counts as secure. However, those perimeter walls don't mean that nobody can escape. If people get away with tunneling, they can tunnel. They always tunnel from the toilet. That's the only place they're going to tunnel from. They'll tunnel from the toilet, and they'll tunnel right under that perimeter wall, which is why you can't put the perimeter wall here. You put it here because then a little escape hole will pop up here and they'll just run right out, which means you have to basically lock down the prison, find out where that tunnel is coming from, and have your workmen come out and fix it. And when they close up that hole, it'll expose everything all the way back to where they escaped from, and you fix all of that. And it is not free to fix all that. I think it's $20 per little square. $2 away. And did you see all the water there? It's because anywhere he showers is going to pour out because the drains are only right here. But eventually all this is going to be showers and the drains are going to go all the way around, so it'll be fine. Our last janitor, $5 grand, and we can take another grant. Let's do prisoner acclimatization? I don't know, and engagement, which is going to be to put our prisoners to work, which we can't do right now because we need to research prison labor, which let's get that started right away. It only cost $1,000. And let's get some plumbing going into our prison. We're going to put all the way across here and fill all that up with cells. What should we do next? Let's do security. What else do we need? What are other things that we're working on? Let's get our accountant back. No, maybe not. We don't really need her. We need a visitation room, which we're going to do over here. Alright, that costs quite a bit of money, but that's okay. And we're just going to put a normal door on there. Because that's just going to be some tables in there. It's okay if people go through there. We're also going to need to move our fence up here so that people can actually get there. And once that is all constructed, we can delete the fences down here. Well, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. Our 2 guards, our 1 prisoner. Kind of a sad prison for now, but you know, everywhere starts somewhere. Is what I was going to say. Every prison, everybody starts somewhere. So we're off to a pretty good start. I've got everything planned out. Our money is doing okay now, and with this money we can start building more cells, and with more cells we'll get more prisoners, and with more prisoners we'll make more money. So we are starting to get the ball rolling. I will see you guys next time. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Leave me any comments of anything you want to see in this video. If there's any like fun stuff you've seen in Prison Architect or any really good ideas you have for this prison, just let me know, and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.